Jeff, good morning. Happy birthday. Can you hear me? Hi, Jeff. No, I cannot hear you.
There, now you should be able. There he goes. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
The wrong mic.
Happy Friday, Jeff.
Happy Friday.
Good morning, good afternoon, Babak. Can you hear me? Hear us?
I hear you.
Okay. Thank you for joining. So I thought I
It's a
could
holiday,
cancel
by the way.
today.
Yeah. I'm traveling, so I figured I'll take an hour to catch up with you guys, but it's a holiday in Europe.
Right. Even here, I think most of the companies are on
Yeah,
holiday. Like,
exactly.
so the only thing I thought like is maybe quick sync is we are due to submit the finals on 22nd. So 22nd is like another 4 days.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that we have the final ones.
I was just working on it just now before this meeting, so I
Okay.
reformatted some of the slides so that
Okay.
the Sadas's figures actually show better on the screen when we present them.
Okay. Then I also made a couple of edits. I think the feedback from the committee mostly related to the couple of first two slides where the fonts were overlapping. I kind of reduced it.
Okay.
But I believe we need, Jeff, I believe we have 3 slides on the power and telemetry. I think that probably need to be reduced to 1 or 2.
Okay. Okay.
So if we could help on reducing that, it will be good. Like slide 5, 6, and 7. Let me post the link. Maybe you can, if
You
you
want
can
to
do.
share the screen?
Yeah, I could share the screen too.
Yeah.
So let me go back. Even before going back, let me share this feedback.
Okay, so apparently I'm working on a different set of slides. I just realized that. That's okay.
Okay. So
Yeah. Yeah, I was working on a different set of slides apparently with the with Sadasa's graphs. So maybe you should
okay.
send a link to this. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Put
sent
it in chat.
pasted the link right now.
Okay. Let me check that real quick. Yeah, so these slides, you see this one, these ones, I've completely redone them to make sure that they fit in the middle of the screen and the fonts are visible. So
Okay.
do you want to look at mine or do you want me to just plug it in and then you
And
look
I
at
think
it?
I can look at yours because the only feedback I got from the committee is the font fix of the font size on first 2 pages. And
Okay.
the last page
Well,
I had a AR, I believe this AR, just I put it for internally that was showing up.
okay,
And
let me yeah.
I think those got fixed. So, but if you were working on a different set, maybe we should just quickly go over that. Maybe you should put the link.
Yeah, I'll give you the link that on the one that you were I just found that I was working on. So you could look at those and see if this is okay for you guys. I just shared this link, the one I was working on.
It says unauthorized.
Okay, let me uh you have Sadas's here. I'm here. You're the owner of this link. Let me try this again.
Um,
You are the owner under ocpproject.net.
Okay, so let me go back onto the.
I figured you'll probably make another doc to make sure that we don't overwrite each other. So, but I couldn't find the last ones.
So what I see here is two docs. One is March 24th. One is this one. Let me open this just to make sure.
Yeah.
Is this the doc? I see you are on here.
You need to share it.
Oh, okay. Do you guys see this?
It's coming. Yeah. It's still coming. Yeah, there we go. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
So
Go forward.
go
Yeah. Go.
this one,
No, keep going down. Yeah, there. Yeah, you see that slide 11?
right?
Yeah, you see from this slide onwards, I basically make all the graphics visible on the
Okay.
screen so that when we're presenting it, they could actually see the fonts. That you can go to next one. Yeah, this one,
Okay.
I split it into two because there's no way we could have both of those. And then the next one, you go next one.
Yeah.
13. Yeah. And then this is an important slide if we want to sort of,
This
and
is
then
really
this one,
important. This is a
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And then slide 14, what I did was I took the graph, go to the next
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, I took the graph and then I basically rewrote the labels because they were
Okay.
not visible.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
rewrote them. I created a text box just for the
Okay.
labels.
Okay. 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 Okay.
I've just lost the Sadas's citation for slide 13. I just kept it as Slack National Lab, but I lost so maybe I'll go to if you absolutely need to have that citation. So go to slide 13, it's one to one before.
Right. Oh, this
Yeah,
one.
the one before.
Okay. Okay.
The one before. No, go to the one before. Yeah, yeah, I lost the citation for the paper, but I don't know if it's needed or not. This one I have it. This is correct.
Okay.
This citation is correct. But then the slide 13, I lost the citation. So it's the one after this one. Yeah, this one. Go to the next
Okay.
one. Yeah, this one I've lost the citation. So,
Okay.
but
I can add it. I do have the old one. I believe I sent it to all of us.
okay.
So I can
Anyway, so if you want to bring these into the other one, that
Right.
would be great.
So this is the one same thing I typed here. I think if you look at this link, this is the same as the first link I typed in the chat box today.
Okay. So this is the correct one. Okay.
Yeah, this is the correct one. And Jeff, I believe you are able to access the first link, right?
Let's see. I'm on. I'm sorry, I had to step away for a minute, but let's see. The first link you sent, or the first link that Babek sent.
I sent.
This is correct. They're the same, basically. They're the
It's
same.
the same.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. So yes, I'm able access. So
Okay.
yeah, and I've got it open.
Okay. Yeah, if that is one working for you, then I think so I think Babak, your slides, I think the changes looks good. Maybe on
Okay.
oh, you already have a source on the top. Okay. So you just need the source for the slide 13 then?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that these are national lab, papers, I think except for this one, which is IEEE computer, that's Sadas's paper. I think it's fine. I don't think we really need this long citation for a paper. It's the source is a national lab. This is the work that was done in Slack National Lab.
Okay. Okay.
So
I think I'm okay with that. I don't think we need to cite the entire source.
It's a published paper, Babak. So
Oh, so that's here. Okay.
yes. So there are already about
I was just telling Sammy I lost the citation for slide 13.
Oh, okay. I had it in the one which I sent to Sammy. When Sammy transferred it, he may have lost it. There are already 30 references to this paper, including in at least 3 Nature communications. So
Okay.
we are okay on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
And the one that said microelectronics, IEEE, I looked at it online and it was an IEEE computer paper. So I changed the citation to IEEE computer.
The data center. I don't so that's a good question. It doesn't say IEEE. I looked at it too. So I may have wrongly referred to it.
Yeah, I Googled it and IEEE
Yeah, it's
basically
not
gave me
IEEE.
by
It's
you.
not, but it was an invited paper to the computer magazine or computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
There's a part 2 of that coming, which talks about more details of energy transduction efficiency that is important to data centers, but still work in progress.
Excellent.
So then slide 11 to 15, we are good, right?
Yeah.
And just the 16 side, are we okay with this? This is more of a recommendation here, right?
Yeah, because it says needs.
Right. So even kind of maybe so you can help here, right?
Sure.
The transistor, when you take a package, you could have a transistor in multiple different process nodes.
Correct.
Because it's not monolithic anymore, right?
Correct.
So when we say transistor, we want the package to kind of say like, hey, I have this multiple different sub kind of packages inside, and they should represent, or how we kind of.
That's right. So this is a call
Right.
we have to make.
Right.
Okay. So I'll just go on video because it's three of us who are actively discussing this. The key thing is you don't really need, the data center doesn't care how many transistors you have or on which technology. So
right.
There is no compelling reason for the data center to have it. But however, if a lot of them are based on an older technology, even if your system is newer,
right,
you are likely to be ending up spending more energy. So it's a matter of how to put it, auditing
right.
what is under the hood.
Right. So, but somebody somewhere has to put that data in, right? Whether you don't really need day-to-day operations.
That's right.
But you do need some form whenever you buy a part that need to be come along with it, right?
Correct. Correct. And most of the system integrators, whether you take HPE or any of the system integrators, they have that information, because otherwise they can't design the system right, because you get the characteristics of the system right.
Right.
And the other important thing is, if you are doing lower precision and higher precision in computing, a lot of the AI algorithms now call it, quantization. I don't know why they call it quantization, but it's actually using hierarchical precision. That is based on how much the energy costs per precision. So if you have 1 billion transistors with lower energy requirements, you can afford to have higher precision implemented in the architecture if you want.
If we are able to consume lower energy.
That is right.
Right.
But this is an architecture type decisions. I mean, Baba can probably talk to this as well. The architectural decision is, how many transistors do you want to use? Are you very power constrained? One. Second is, using more transistors means my thermal management needs to get better, or can I use a newer technology? These transistors coming out of it. For example, M3 versus M2, the energy is literally half. I have the numbers somewhere. So if you're using an ARM processor, M3, M4, ARM is actually following a sharper energy drop curve than others that I have seen. If you look through the 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So those are all architectural decisions. They're not necessarily all technology decisions.
Right. Right.
So that is
Sadat,
that
you're
is a good
talking about
metric.
the Apple M chips?
Right. Sorry,
Right.
Apple.
So what they're doing is that what the difference between the Apple laptops that were Intel CPUs and the Apple laptops that are fully integrated with ARM, Apple's own ARM, is that they're customizing circuits to support the system. This is not
Right.
computation. This is
Right.
not computation. This is actually for, supporting the vertical integration of the entire system together as a platform, including your I/O, your network, your display. All of these things have specialized circuits in them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is what I meant. You kind of can use architectural or circuit level decisions to be able to get the flexibility you want in terms of the energy. So the question is, can M3 have been more efficient? The analysis is showing it can be. If you design it well, an M3 based system can end up being as efficient as an M4 based system, just for the sake of discussion. But they actually do such a nice job that they use the energy efficiency given by the microprocessor and then do the system level optimization on that. And then on top of that, if there is an algorithmic level precisions that your algorithm can do training versus inference, for example, those things are not tracked. So if you see that this data center needs more energy, we don't want people to come back and tell us, oh, that's because it's all new technology. It's also design compromises, as Babak was saying, at the system level. So that is why we are tracking it, so that it's a little bit under the hood. You don't need it for a data center definition. System level parameters are sufficient. But the problem is then you don't know how the next generation technology is, because if you look at the data center growth numbers, they're huge now. The US grids cannot accommodate the current expected growth unless energy efficiency kicks in. So it does make sense for us to make the case that we would like the transistor or / technology is the way I would put there, if you want to add a little bit more qualification to why you are asking transistors.
So this is also, by the way, something I was talking about a few weeks ago, which is the algorithmic aspect of it is super important. But in the case of this M1, the M3, 4 that you're talking about, this is a collaboration with the operating system software.
Right.
So,
right.
And because it's a vertical integration, and the data center market is a horizontal market. That they're open source. That's the entire operating system ecosystem is Linux based. It's all open source. And hardware and software is all layered in a horizontal market.
Right.
And bringing this together would require that one of these big IT players basically builds the entire thing, just like Apple did for laptop, for a server.
That's right.
This is my area of research. I've been working on this for 15 years.
That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. In fact, by breaking it the way it is, we are doing it here, it opens up the opportunities to bring design across the layers, not just layer by layer design.
Yeah,
I think this kind of things kind of trying to show something similar, right?
Exactly.
This is a layer where even if you have good hardware, if you don't have a good software and operating system algorithms, still you're going to kind of hack the system and spend more energy, right?
Right.
To do the same job.
Right.
I believe for each layers, you need to have some mechanism to kind of measure and report, or somehow reporting things need to be there, right?
So roughly what you showed in the other slide that you were having captures this cut across layers. That is the minimum you need.
Right.
We can go into more and more finer graining of what would be needed. That's where the communication comes in, how much data is transferred from I mean, across the blades or across the package. So it gets more and more fine-grained. And people may argue back that if they give that fine-grained detail, they're also giving the IP away in which how this AI chat
Right.
GPT versus Llama is doing it.
Right.
So I don't know how much leverage we have. If you have higher leverage, ask for finer grain, but at least let them give us at this level.
Yeah, what we are saying is you don't probably need to report it out to the entire world,
Right.
but you need to have the infrastructure for you to kind of get the
Monitor it.
details.
Yeah, if you don't monitor it,
Right. Right.
your data center may be over-designed.
Right. Right.
Right. And
Right.
over design is very expensive given we are asking, the data center people are asking 10% growth in electricity or something like for a country like the US,
Right.
which is a gigantic consumption of electricity, and 10% of US is more than a lot of countries' annual use of electricity. So if they are asking that, you need to be monitoring at least these in the existing data centers or the new data centers. That is the argument we are indirectly making,
Right.
by showing all the numbers and graphs and charts that you have.
So this last one, do we need to have or is it remove it? I just added now.
So I would say algorithm software may be hard to get because
Right.
now this is becoming a thing. What you can say is application, what mix of applications are being run, at what precision or something like that. So something at the application level. Are you doing natural language processing 100% of the time? Or are you doing time series and natural language processing? So if it's a Department of Energy data center,
You need a
national lab,
workload, you need a classification of workload.
exactly right. Exactly right. It's a workload is what we are asking. I call it application, but it is the workload of the application and the distribution of that. So how many operations are you are doing and at what precision based on the application? Are you doing fluid dynamics simulation 100% of the time? If you are NASA or weather forecasting organization, that's what you will do. Then that's what we are trying to say. Workload distribution for applications or something like that.
So there is, I think the top we are saying type, but the power and capacity, all those things comes part of the hardware portion. I'm trying to
it also comes, it is software, right? Because
right.
think about it. If a turbulent flow or weather prediction needs 10 hours of supercomputer time, that 10 hours is based on how the grid is where they simulated. Right now, they simulated from 3 to 10 kilometers or something like that, like Bay Area. They will say, they have finer divisions of San Jose, Sunnyvale. They don't have Sunnyvale. They will have San Jose, San Mateo or Santa Clara.
Right.
That kind of a division means you're talking about 30-kilometer grid as opposed to 10-kilometer grid. Then you will, or 3-kilometer grid, then you will have multiple cities in that. So that is why we are saying workload for specific applications for the entire simulation cycle.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
there is also a key aspect here, which is even if you classify the workload, if the workload is not implemented in the correct, is not specified in a correct environment. For example, you start doing inference in Python, then you already have 2 to 3 orders of magnitude overhead.
That's
Right.
right. That's right.
So
That's
I think besides
Python
workload,
is
we need to
least
also
energy
specify the
efficient.
program.
Yeah, you're wasting a lot of energy in the layers, right? So
That's right.
Yeah.
So we need some way to capture it.
Right.
And workload for different workload distributions for different applications, or per application or something like that to capture this, because you will have to say, I'm running Python for this precision for 10 days at a time.
Yeah. So I'm trying to say workload type. I don't know, capacity or how big it is and things like that, right? I'm
That's
trying to generalize it, right?
say workload specifications or something, Sammy. Because we want specifications, not qualitative arbitrary words. Yeah, so there has to be some specs in terms of what it is. The supercomputing people, HPC people really have it correctly defined.
Okay.
They have specific, I mean, you know this.
Right.
LinPack used to exist forever. Now LinPack has gotten even more with RMax, and they have now HPCG. So they are more and more closer to the real thing. So when they say we are designing the supercomputer, they really know which problem they can address with exascale, 1 exaflop versus 2 exaflop. They know what they can do. In the data center, it doesn't exist because they want it to be general purpose. But my feeling is increasingly data centers will become very specialized. That data center can be used for crypto coin, but nothing else. And this can be used for inference. And even you may have a different cloud center distribution for training.
So it's maybe like workload profile. Is it like a
Yeah.
type of
Profiles.
workload?
Yeah, profiles sounds good also.
It's like how much memory it's using. Maybe you are mixing and matching.
Right.
Then we can go on to like how much IO it's using, things like that, right?
Right.
Okay. So then, any other points we want to bring out of this, concluding this energy part? Then we'll go back to Jeff's part.
No, this looks good actually.
And the call to action, we want to make sure that it comes out well what we are trying to do for it, right? The first two is just whatever the work was done. So just calling them to kind of start using the sustainability profile. And this is one we are trying to say, like we are
correct. That was what the last
right
bullets in the previous slide. I am okay with this. So only the second bullet is a little weak. I don't know how much you want to say here, but I would say evaluate implementability in your OCP platform or something, right? I mean, feasibility or something. My point is consider is too weak. They'll say, oh yeah, I consider it and I'll get back to you. So you just want it to be something concrete that comes out of it. Evaluate the feasibility is the way I would say it, but it's up to, I mean, the two of you who is.
And Jeff, what is your recommendation here? Consider, evaluate.
I'd like to be a little stronger than that.
Yeah, I agree.
Just say, I mean, just call to action is I'd say just implement, because I mean, I think we've gotten no feedback on any issues with the profile, and I'm not expecting any, because I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, so I think we definitely need to be to that point.
Okay. We'll say implement it, and then they have to consider it and evaluate all those things, a part of their process.
Right. That'll be all part of the process. But yeah, but we're not at this point. I don't think we're really asking for them to review it.
Okay.
They should go implement it. If they have issues when they implement it, well, then they can come back and talk to us, right? But
okay. That's a really good point. I think let's say go and do it. And the last one is just kind of open-ended. Any additional things people consider, come back, right?
Didn't we say that we wanted also raise awareness about we're looking for data? So is this item about implement OCP profile, is that related to please talk to us and give us data?
That's not.
Yeah. So that,
Yeah, if you're looking for like the the output of that, I think that's
so
you know,
should we have a separate bullet?
is that an ask? Is that what we want? Was like, are we asking for people to, oh, actually, well, maybe, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't even see the first bullet. So, oh, how did I get signed out? Oh, shoot. I I'm making other changes.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So this is a question to Sammy and Sadas, because we had discussed earlier, Jeff, that we really want, it doesn't look like the hyperscalers are going to come back with data with us, but we want to talk to other smaller operators, maybe academic, although academics push towards supercomputing and their workloads are completely different. But if there are other operators who attend OCP, we want to ask them, please come work with us. We're interested in data. We need data.
So Sammy, I think I want you to take that sub bullet here. I'll try to make it easy here.
Good.
Take that URI link there in the first sub bullet. Yeah,
Right.
take that and just make that a sub bullet of the second bullet. Move that down one line. There you go. And now I think you just delete the first bullet completely.
Okay. You're basically saying it's already released?
I mean, it's there. We don't have it in, it's got to get to the document, but that's kind of going through the
Process.
OCP publication process, but it's available publicly. It hasn't changed. So,
Okay. Okay. That's a good point. I think it's profile already there. Go and implement, and as part of the implementation process, any feedback they can bring it, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So Sammy,
So
do
that's
you want to
just
have a
to
separate?
run back on your point. I think what you're saying is we are asking somebody to provide any data that they have, or we want to.
So here comes to the other earlier discussion that you brought up.
Right.
We are not asking them to publicize all the data to the public.
Right.
For the OCP, for us to do the right job, these data would be needed.
Right.
Because otherwise, we are not able to track why one data center is different and how to even make it more efficient. So I don't know how to say this, but my thinking on this is it need to be said in a way, work with OCP team for the data sharing protocol. Because they may say we don't want to publish the data. You can use it for your analysis, but don't publish the data that we are giving you. So there's also a protocol involved in this, in my mind, because data center is becoming a very remunerative business, because they want a piece of the pie as well. So that development of a protocol is something you can actually say that we will work with them, because it may even need, unfortunately, lawyers involved at some point. Although we are open compute, I mean, the sharing of the data publicly may need some sort of a barrier they would like to put in. There are security reasons to do. So
We can decouple these two things. We can say we're really opening our arms to work together with operators who are pioneers in sustainability, and we will work through OCP and set up a framework so we can work. We can use the data internally in OCP and not publicize it.
Right. So very nicely said. Very nicely said, Babak. I mean, if you can capture that, I think that's
do you want to do a sub bullet here, or if you want to?
I think it should be a standalone bullet.
Yeah, it should be a standalone bullet. I think Sammy will just have a bullet that says, we want to work with pioneers in sustainability. If you're a DC operator and you want to work with us on this and share your data with us, we will work with you and we'll deal with the legality of it through an OCP.
Yeah, so that could be like the last bullet, because that is a little different from the other ones.
Yeah.
So you could
Be a
end
last
it on
bullet.
that note. You could end it on that note that we are being open about what we would like to have,
Yeah.
and we are
If
willing.
if you're an operator of a data center and you want to work with us on sustainability, we're looking for data within the OCP framework, not public. And please come and talk to us.
So define data sharing with in OCP for research or
DC operators.
how is this? Once you go to the OCP, it's more of a still a public, right? It's, you are saying non-public data sharing here, or
We're saying if somebody in the audience is a DC operator in Europe, and there's a lot of them who are interested in sustainability,
right?
and they want to work with us without publishing their data, we would like to work with them. We're basically calling them to, we're inviting them basically to work with us.
So does the last line sound good? I think maybe we need to reword it here.
Are we talking to the audience on this slide?
Or are you talking to the data operators is the question, right?
Right.
Right. So we could just make the bullet, please come talk to us if you're a DC operator, and you know, we could, you know, you're willing to share data within an OCP framework.
So what is the sentence wording we want to use it here?
So please work with us if you're a DC operator and you would like to share data within an OCP framework. Work with us if you're a DC operator.
Work with OCP to define. And now you are specifically calling out only for DC operator. I think I'm trying to kind of.
We just care about DC operators, right?
I know, but is a framework defined for us to share, or first we need to define the framework?
Yeah, so yeah, I think, yeah, to define, I would say data sharing protocol, right, with OCP.
Right.
And then depending on, I mean, Babak probably knows this better than I do, whether this should be addressed to just the DC operators or should it be just left open.
Yeah. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, this is good.
I mean, you know better. How do you want to? Yeah. So I would leave it up to you.
Okay, this is good.
Yeah, just I think general statement you can talk on.
Yeah, exactly. At the point you talk, you could bring that up.
We could just tell them, yeah, exactly what, you know, we could bring the wording into the speech. So.
Right. So then, Chip, going back onto the slide 5, 6, and 7. There are 3 slides. I think we should reduce it to 1, I believe.
Oh, is that necessary or no?
No, we will not have time. I think that's.
So then the power and telemetry workstream update, put it as a backup.
Right.
It will take.
It's already been discussed before. It's nothing new here.
Lot of talking.
Right.
Yeah, I don't. That's really just a status slide. So yeah, if you want to move that to backup, I think that's fine. The next.
So maybe help me here. Can we just in this itself we can combine the status? Then we don't need to really go there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I think the first one is kind of saying that, right?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. So
Right.
yeah, I think you can put that, the details of those bullet lists, that like that's the slide 5. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Then I will take out these 4 slides.
Yeah.
If
That one
I
is
want
good
you,
to have.
that's, yeah, I want you to leave that one.
Yeah, the sustainability profile should be there, I think.
Yeah.
Keep this one. No, hold
I
on.
think
No.
keep that one.
Yeah, keep that one.
Keep the 7, remove 5 and 6.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
you,
have it in the
yeah,
backup. If somebody wants to know more, you can always go to that and say it's in the backup.
exactly.
Okay, at least then 2 main points here, and just we can move on to the thing. And just want to make sure that there's enough time here to spend on the future
Because
activities.
you are setting up, I mean, this
Right.
is very important because you are setting up the entire reason why the ask is what it is.
Yeah, so we want to say like there is some work being done. Now this is the new work we are concentrating. We want to make sure that there is enough crowd to kind of go after and look on defining that.
Okay.
And this one, Babak, I just want to make sure these two, is it flowing through well between the other things?
Yeah.
I think you had 4 slides, I believe I combined to one. I want to make sure that
I kind of really like the slide in my mind.
This is good. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the slide because you have numbers, you have the bigger qualitative picture, and you're defining metrics. I mean, this slide is doing a whole lot.
Okay.
And kind of nicely laid out, at least in my opinion. I mean, you two are the ones presenting, so you should.
I would I would just switch to hyperscaler 1.1 to 1.2 because Uptime reported in 2024 that they're claiming hyperscalers are around 1.2 and less, and nobody's really measured this, so everybody's just announcing, you know.
So instead of
So, yeah.
1.1, you want to change it to 1.2?
1.1, I would say less than 1.2, yeah.
Okay.
Because nobody really has any proper measured value for this, and Uptime just had a report saying hyperscalers are better than 1.2.
Okay, and the last one is 1.4 is fine?
That one's good, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is good. It's kind of getting a context and also kind of trying to put all the different different metrics here, right? I think the reason, I think probably one point is not coming out well. The title, it says role of improving energy efficiency. I believe.
Yeah, it should say data center almost like on the title too, I think.
I think this has got approved, and if we go and change it,
Okay.
right?
Again, it's up to both of you.
Right.
I think the text covers all the points you want to make.
Yeah, I think my thing is like when we summarize it, we want to kind of say like I think when in my mind when I go through that, we are kind of saying multiple different metrics. We are not summarizing as what is the role it played into kind of improving it, right?
Yeah.
Do we need to have some talk about this is played a role to improve it, and we are expecting the other definition that we are going to make is going to improve it, right?
Yeah. And so the way you are saying it here, the title,
right,
which is approved as you right, indicated, if I were to read the title and not know anything about the content,
right,
I would think that you are going to come up with the proposal of new metrics and their role for improving energy efficiency.
right.
If that is consistent with the way you want to say it, then this title does not need that much of a change.
Yeah, I think what I was kind of thinking is it's a summary. What we are trying to say is there was a role it played to improve. In going forward, we need to have some additional metrics so that you can measure and improve it. That's the way I was kind of thinking it originally. What you are trying to show here in this graphs, you're trying to show we have a measurement that is a matrix, right?
Right.
Without the metrics, you may not even measure it and you compare it.
That's exactly. I mean, we don't realize how bad the problem is if you never measured it. It's like, I shouldn't say this. If you didn't test, you won't know whether you have COVID or not, right? I mean,
Right.
this was a major discussion point in the US. I don't understand why, but so if you don't measure, you don't know the problem. I mean, this is an old science.
Same thing here. What you're trying to say is it's a metrics. We are not saying it's OCP metrics here, metrics, right?
Right.
As long as we,
granularity matters. I think I like the title actually.
Right. Then we are basically saying all this data is we are collecting metrics and comparing it and showing this is the delta it is bringing.
Right.
And I believe we need to conclude and saying like, yes, metrics matters. Unless you have metrics, you cannot measure it.
Right.
And you need to have a proper metrics that we all agree on to kind of implement it so that you can measure it and compare and improve.
Some sort of standardization.
Right.
And the other thing, there's also a subtle point. If you have the time, please try to bring this up. This also has technology fine graining in this particular figure. And that's where we asked about the transistor and technology.
Right.
Because you see 10 nanometers, 15 nanometers, 20, those are nanometers.
Right.
Technology node. So that matters too.
Yeah.
You want to put a NM here?
Yeah. I think it will be good if you can. It says in the legend of the text in the paper, but since you're presenting it, it'll be good to put that because
just put a little. So the previous slide, by the way, says it's saying basically the improvements in fabrication process is important, but it might falsely get the idea across that this is going to happen.
Yeah,
and
you don't.
So we have to be careful.
Down. Yeah, that's an excellent point. That's a good point, Babak.
Yeah, so I'll make sure. So Sammy, you want me to do everything from 8 onwards, right? Or
Yeah.
okay.
6 onwards.
6 onwards. Okay, yeah. So I'll think about
how to word it right.
I think that slide.
That's a good.
Yeah, 6 onwards. I'm still waiting for my visa thing. If it does not go through, you end up probably need to cover the whole thing.
Okay. Well, I already have my ticket and everything. So I'm going to Singapore to an AI conference, coming back and then going to Dublin. So
for me, ticket is not a problem. I need to get the visa. My appointment is still not got resolved.
okay.
If I'm not able to get it by next week, I would need to ask you to present the whole thing.
Okay, that's not a problem.
Okay. I think now we kind of covered this. Is good. I think it's just going to take about 5 minutes here. I'm just kind of looking for a timing here. Another probably 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes, maybe 2 or 3 minutes here. Then you probably have about 12 minutes to cover the remaining. And you do it's 25 minutes presentation. So you want to open up 5 minutes for a Q&A. So need to figure out like 15 slides generally for a 15 minutes. It's kind of coming.
That's a stretch.
Right.
But I think the slides are reasonably sparse, except a couple of them.
Right.
So they are not all going to take the same time. The figures can, with the right kind of wording, as Babak was indicating, may kind of make the point. And then when you come to the verbal slides, that you can take 2 minutes to do this. The figure-based slides, you can essentially point to the key point you want to make in more like a minute to minute and a half.
Yeah, I think this the 9, 10, 11, 12. I think there is really a picture people we need to say what is the point you're driving across.
Right.
this might take a little bit time because a lot of waiting
Because
here,
it's a lot of verbiage. Yes.
right?
Yes.
Need to figure out how do you want to communicate this
So,
hardware is
Sammy,
important.
I'll don't worry, I'll do a dry
Okay,
run and
okay.
I'll time it. And
Okay,
if there
okay,
are any concerns, I will come back. Yeah.
okay. Then I think the flow looks good. I think
Sam,
it
do you
was.
mind sending these slides?
Yeah. So do you have access to this one? Or you want me to send it to the email?
No, I can. I guess I can access. I haven't tried lately. So can you send
So that's,
send
you have
the link?
access from 2 or 3 different email addresses to these slides. I looked at the
Okay.
share. Yeah.
Yeah. Just now, if you could just click the last link I pasted.
Okay. Okay. Just let me do that. Okay. You go. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's always, there are so many links floating around in
I know.
email chain. So I
Yeah.
don't know which. So they keep telling us from the national lab, don't click on all the links.
Okay.
So that's a reason. I mean, of course.
You have 2 Gmail addresses, by the way, on this. One is Sadas and the other one is your first name.
Yeah.
Sadasivan.
Sadaswan.shankar is there. Sadas.shankar is there. Both with Gmail, correct. I don't know. I mean, I think it's more historic than, I mean, one is a 20-year-old account. So I think it just has stayed that way. Haven't changed it.
As long as they're both you, that's okay.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I just want to copy both, even same thing, Jeff. When I'm doing, I'm putting an OCP and a HP both address, so that doesn't matter wherever he
Right, that's-
email, he can click and respond, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, what I have noticed, like when I was in work, like sometimes you are looking at only work email, you're not kind of switching back and forth. You
Because
miss some of the
it's a travel thing. If I
Right.
am traveling, some of the accounts are not available because it has to go through VPN.
right.
So I mean, it's just, I mean, things have gotten easier at the same time. They're also complicated.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And Sammy, you can use my OCP one. It gets through to me always. So.
Oh, it gets redirected to you. Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else we want to discuss today?
No, I think this was a good discussion, actually.
This is good. I think, no, at least I thought whether to call a meeting today or not, given a Good Friday, but it kind of worked out well. I think we are able to get this presentation done.
Sounds good.
Okay, then.
So Sammy, just let me know when you have info about your visa.
Yeah, I have one more week. I will let you know by next week. If
Okay.
it does not go through by next week, then we have to call out. Cancel my thing and go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck, Sammy.
Okay.
And otherwise, we'll talk next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Tim. I will see you next week.
Sammy?
Yeah.
Hey Sammy, can you give me a call on Teams afterwards?
Okay. On Teams.
Yeah.
Let me go back and check. Yeah.
Or whatever. But Teams is probably the easiest between Intel and HP.
No. I think the thing is I'm not with Intel anymore, right? I took the retirement package.
Oh, you did. Oh, okay.
Right. So let's. I can call you on Teams, but not.
No, that's okay. You want to call my cell?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's my cell number.
Okay.
Write that down before you end the meeting because this goes away.
Right. Let me just call you right here and hang here.
There we go. All right.
Okay.
All right, thanks,
See you.
Eddie.
Yep. Thank you. Bye.